Wow, that was a damn nightmare. Nightmare? Nightmare. Hang on, was my quarters ever looking like this? Look at my bathroom door. My quarters never look like this. What's going on? Now this is definitely not what my quarters look like. For one, I don't remember the flower arrangement. Or the picture. I mean, I know we were in space dock for a little while after the events of the Vault, but possibly trying to get a bridge redesign. I really did hate that temporal bridge. It so just did not suit the old style of this vessel. Other than that, the interior ship always looked like this. I don't remember. I mean, I think I'm on the crew deck right now. I mean, let's go and have a look. I mean, that's got to be the turbo lift of the bridge. I mean, was I really that tired? I just never noticed. So I think I'm going to have to come down here and start putting some decorations up in the lounge. Because if I don't, I think that's going to be very, very bad. Hang on. This turbo lift looks absolutely different. I don't recognize the turbo lift ever. Now this is the correct bridge. This is what my bridge should have been looking like when I first took her out of space. How's everything going? Hopefully going well. Conference lounge off limits, is it now? I would say so. Turbo lift. And displays are looking good. How many bridge officers can we actually have up here at one time? You know some people? The bridge looks absolutely amazing. And what they've done is at Starbase 39 with the overhaul, top notch, brilliant. And all your ideas, putting this bridge together, absolutely brilliant. It combines, from what I can tell, the old style motion picture, you know, from the olden days when we see legends like Captain Kirk and Captain Spock and all those greats that we know of from that era, with an up-to-date Captain Picard feel. Well, no more having to try and find out which bridge we're going for on the ship. I mean, now this one is staying. Brilliant. I'm just going to go and have a look at my captain's quarters now. Did someone get my door fixed? It's not exactly working. This was the bridge of my dreams. Helm, roll for it. Right then, crew. Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that we recovered from the vault. We need to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obersec and forces planned an attack, because they still don't know. We've entered orbit of the Hfihar system, which is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire. Ferengi speculators have moved in and the Empress has done nothing to remove them, because why should she? These Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with Latin. Typical Ferengi, you know, we've heard about them in the Delta Quadrant, but not that we've ever met them. We're the Hfihar system, as I just said, under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Duran is our local contact and operator of the mines, one of which we have to convince him to allow us to have access and find out what we can. Once we know why Obersec brings the target to these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed. So, we have our orders. We now have our orders. All you have to do is hit the ground running and see what's going on. Miss Flores, let's get the ground team and drop on Hfihar. Drop beam onto Hfihar. Unless you want to take the Delta Flyer, of which I really don't want to do that one. Yeah. Let's roll for it. The Riemanns were targeted magnesite identity in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. And though we're in the right area, all of the moons in this system are inhabited and our senses are being affected by the magnesite. We'll need to contact each moon to try to determine which one the Riemanns were actually targeting. Now I've got to figure out where the hell we're going. Let's pick up this rubidium first. A bit more power into the engine, I think. Getting that rubidium. So that's going to come in handy later on. Miss Flores, let's hail the moon Trilalu. Excuse me. Why are you attacking me for? Great. Orions. What is it? Oh, it's gotta be Orions with these people. I mean, your Orions never learn. Well, they're definitely not the ones we're looking for. You can basically cross off Trilalu off the list. Yeah. Let's get some magnesite while we're flying through as well. So let's go to the next moon just in front of us. We haven't really got many batteries we can spare to put in warp or the impulse engines, I should say. Well, looks like we're almost in range of this moon. I wonder which moon this is. Kale or Lyo? Lyo. Alright, jeez. They really don't like us here, do they? They're not very hospitable around here, are they? This is a dangerous area, and it's only gone since the destruction of Romulus. It might be difficult to get someone to trust us. Yeah, agreed. Let's go and get what looks like vertebrate particles. You never know what I can build with that kind of stuff. I might not need actually Admiral Mad Dog's building expertise, actually. So I recently found out I can build my own stuff. I mean, I'm very, very self-sufficient. I'm very, very good at building things. I mean, I've always wanted to go down the miracle worker path as an engineer. I mean, I'm already an engineer. I just wanted to follow in the likes of Commander Montgomery Scott and Commander Charles Tucker III. And I'll just have a little boop in the engines there. Like normal. There's the vertical particles. Let's get all the way to the next moon. So the final moon must be Kale, or Qual. I like Kale better. Qual is just as good, I suppose. Flores, let's hail the moon Qual.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please, transport to the surface.
Well, thank you, Madran. You are just as annoying looking as I've heard in our archives, for the only couple of times we've met you from the records of Neelix, ambassador to the Delta Quadrant. We all been down momentarily.
Unfortunately, the large amount of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you filtering down to the surface. My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you?
Well, of course not. You know, these people are doing a job there. We're only there to investigate. What's going on? Yeah. Say hi to the people. So, yeah. We can keep it to a minimum crew. So let me just warp in. I saw a green flash. Could have been the Mary Celeste for all I know. Alright. I'm going to meet the crew in the transporter room. Well, Miss Flores, this place is very inhospitable. So let's bring a little bit of life onto the ground. Oh, but I suppose first things first, we have to go and meet this Madran. That's over yonder. Let's go and find out what he's got to say. And why this place looks so desolate. Oh, that Romulan's a... Was that a Romulan? I think that was a Romulan. 15 more years left in the mine. Wow. Huh. More resources. I think this was tetrazine. Sure, it'd come in handy for something. When we get back to the ship, we're going to have to start getting the crew doing R&D projects, I think. Huh. Is that a watchtower? I feel like that's a watchtower. Excuse me, are you Madran? Apparently working demands has gone up there, okay. You're... We're working a... Apparently ration packs have just gone up. I could bring them down for nothing. I mean, they helped me. Starfleet when we were a bit down. I'm guessing you're the person we need to speak to, surrounded by Nausicans, of course. Excuse me, thank you.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Hfihar.
Hfihar, sorry.
We don't have time for pleasantries, and I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So, why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business?
Well, I'd like having chit-chat, but does this belong to you? I just want to know. I don't think my Genesis device likes this planet. Of course, I've heard you're an excellent source of magnesite, but what makes your mine better than the others in the sector? I mean, honestly, what does?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I pay to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Right, so basically you're swindling them. Yeah, I thought so. Any more info about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather have... Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale?
Thanks, but I'll talk to the miners first. I mean, I think they need to be talked to more than you. Okay.
Really? It's yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deal, you'll regret it.
I just have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Thank you very much and good day. Yes, Miss Flores, what you got? Duran won't answer any questions about why the Reapers might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. Perhaps if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. Yep, I agree there. So, who are we speaking to? Question 9. This looks like a group of miners? Well, like refugees then, sorry, my apologies. We don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Just tell me about your life here.
What can I say? We exist. And mine because there's nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I'm lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota and Modern pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Modern to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Modern to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go?
I mean, you could go to the Romulan Republic? And they're newly founded, they're always looking for people to go with. What do you know about Madron?
Every morning, the first thing I do when I wake is curse that Ferengi's name. Modron found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless, the supplies were gone, and we were starving. After some negotiations, Modron had his contract and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he's the only one who benefits from our labor. Modron owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket. And he sets the prices for food, medicine, and equipment. So everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that. But I can't live without him.
Oh, this is definitely slavery without a way to get out. This is a random curiosity question. Do you get help from the Empire at all? The Klingon Empire?
The Empire? What Empire? Our empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld.
Romulan Star
If you're
Empire.
rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear the people in Seela's shining city in the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there's nothing but dust and regret.
I apologize, not Klingon Empire, the Romulan Star. Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans. And you could join the Romulan Republic, as I said.
I have heard this, but I have not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread? Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Seela and her ships are strong. The Tal Shiar is strong. Your aid goes to fill their bellies and heal their wounds, Starfleet, not mine.
Okay, I apologize. I thought... That didn't go down well. There's a gentleman just over here. Apparently. I am seeing time flux. What's going on with this surveyor?
I'm sorry, I really can't talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft.
Oh. Apologize, I didn't mean to, interrupt you. Is there anything I can do to help?
As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me.
I'm an engineer, not a scientist, unfortunately. If I encounter someone, I will send them your way. Oh, that didn't work. Have a chat with these over here. You're Lan True. I catch you. Have you always lived here?
My family and I have been here all our lives. It's a hard life, but it's all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the homeworld. She'd talk about the plazas in Rateg or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnic Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never really had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What can you tell me about Madran?
He charges us too much and pays too little. He's like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve. And if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act any differently than he does?
I don't know. He sounds very greedy to me. What can you tell me about this area?
Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine. And whatever you do, don't leave this area.
Why not?
I do not wish you harm, stranger. And there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine. And they are dangerous. Even Madron fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore
Excuse
you.
me.
But defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week, a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first.
Okay.
There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement, there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it's very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. The Packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles, looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. And you must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it.
Interesting. I've heard a story from in Starfleet records about a creature similar to that. I just can't remember from where. Have you seen anyone suspicious around here?
You're the first outsider I've seen in a long time. There's no reason for anyone to want to come here.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Oh, I'm not about to try and buy anything, don't worry. This looks like another person who might be talking to.
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run. And if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look at you. You're almost as scrawny as I am, and I haven't eaten in 2 days. Thanks, but I need a real fighter on my side. These guys would kill you, and I don't want your blood on my hands.
I have fought many, and continue to fight more. Thank you for thinking I'm scrawny, because I'm not. So that person's really no help. Hello. Your brother? No, I don't think they have.
My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him.
Okay, you know where he went. Maybe I can help. How long has he been missing?
I last saw him 2 days ago. Madron assigned both of us to work in the upper levels of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have gone with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone.
Okay, if I go into the mine, I will look for it. Why isn't it safe to be in the mine? I've just heard stories of a creature. Maybe people you shouldn't be talking to in there, but...
There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own.
Yeah.
I don't know why Madron tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and terrorize the weak. I once saw them dragging a woman to the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down, we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers. Murderers. If they killed my brother, I'll kill them all.
That? Yep. Nothing I can say to that one. Is there anything else at all?
If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They're made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I have seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away.
Ah. Thank you for your time. That's just told me a bit of information I need. Do you remember a creature from Starfleet database, as I said?
I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you know anything about laser induction coils. You don't by any chance know anything about laser induction coils, do you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
If I ask Madron for a replacement laser induction coil, he'll charge me 100 times what it's worth. He's the only one who brings supplies to this planet. I remember when we had regular contact with the homeworld and my brother there would send a package of sweets for my children in every transport. Now, I can't dwell on the past. problem is this broken drill.
Well, I can definitely try and get you a replacement for it.
I have to fix it or I won't make quota. We salvage parts from old equipment, and sometimes other people here will trade components. But this requires some specific components. If you think you can help me, I'll mark your map with the locations of some people who might have what we need.
Great, I'll get on it. So... apparently we need to get some parts for that drill. So this is a warrior. Disgusting little creatures. I wonder if this is one of the people we need to speak to right here. Well, trusting me is a different thing. I am with Starfleet and a Talaxian, very likely. How do you avoid breaking your drill bits when you hit a pocket of magnesite? Help me out here, Alyssa. Nope, excess pressure would cause the drill bit to be ejected from the drill site rather than cause damage directly to drill bit. Perhaps we should consider an answer. Frictional speed, okay. So, we'll get there in the end. So it's not released gas. I forgot this point from basic training. Diamond tip, nope. Oh, okay. Right. Increasing the speed of a drill bit that is failing would typically cause the machinery to exert more energy on a part that already can't handle. Okay, so I will get this. It's one thing I don't know. This was never a Starfleet Academy. Water. Like it would tolerate too much excess water in it. So adding water to the drill site would cause the entire site to turn into a muddy mess before locking up like brine. Yeah, this is not going well. Not a trick question, of course. There's definitely not release. Rotational speed, no. Slow. Finally! Obviously know your way around this equipment. I'm sorry, I thought you were just another one of Madron's lackeys. He controls every second of our lives. I can't work without him, and I can't eat without buying the food for him. So the pitiful wages he pays just end up back in his pocket. Take the part you need. We miners need to stick together. Thank you. Okay, I need to work a little bit more on mining. So I'm guessing we go around this way somewhere. Maybe? There's nothing more to scan. I mean, oh, hang on. Here we go. Smiley thinks Madron sent us to collect some debt. Please catch him and explain we aren't here for that. Whoa, okay. Excuse me. Oh. I'm not trying. Excuse me.
Don't hurt me. I don't have the latinum now, but I can. Oh? Madron didn't send you here to break my kneecaps?
Why would I want to break your kneecaps? Don't you recognize the uniform is a bit outdated? Yes, but I mean, I am not here to break kneecaps. I need to shoot people if they get on my nerves.
I have a daughter in the radar system. I thought I could contact her to send me some Latin. But Modron won't let me use the subspace array. You see, I owe him some money. Yeah, I didn't make my quota last month because I was sick and... But that's life, isn't it? All you can do is try to hang on to whatever you have left. I'll give you the part you need. Take it, and I hope it solves your problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See, that wasn't that difficult, was it? So, apparently... this person right here, apparently. Excuse me. I have a few spare parts. I'm sure I have watching you to get the drill working again. Why, thank you. I didn't know I was after drill parts. So now we have all the parts. Let's get back and give the parts to the technician. Excuse me.
Thank you. With these parts, I can fix this drill and get back to work. I need to make my quota today or Modron will cut my pay again. I already owe him so much latinum, I don't know how I'll ever repay it. He brings in food and supplies that we need, but the prices are so high. I remember the dark days after we lost Romulus. There were no supply shipments for months. I had to listen to my children cry because they were so hungry. I might spend the rest of my life in debt, but I have a life.
Yes. I think we had a bit of an interruption from with communications with the ship then. Thank you. But I'm sorry to hear that you might spend your life in debt, but you ever tried joining the Romulan Republic? It might help you, you know.
To answer your question though, I don't know what makes this mine different from any other mine. The magnesite isn't any different. Maybe there are some veins with less impurities in the lower levels of the mine. I wouldn't know. There's a group of thugs who keep everyone away from those areas. But I won't risk a beating just to satisfy my curiosity. If you want to risk checking it out, that's your business.
Excuse you, why is everybody bumping in? Honestly. Yep, that is my business. I'll go into that mine and find out what's going on. Apparently there's a brother lost in there. A lady got pulled in there. So just apparently I've got the drill that the plot thickens. Miss Flores, we need to go in the mine, but we need to go to Madran first and see what he has to say. Because if we don't, we'll never get. Looks like the people are getting very rowdy. Excuse me, Madran.
You want to go in the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the last, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information. But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the green invasion of Deferi space?
Well, that's news to me. I hadn't even known about that. But I'll take that information to heart. Maybe we might be able to go there at some point and find out what's going on. Right, so we finally got access to the mine. So let's go and get prepared to enter the mine. But try and get out of some of this dust. It's getting up my nose constantly.